Tina here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to take a moment to talk about a few books that have honestly inspired me to make real and drastic changes in my life. As you guys know, I have been off work for, it was supposed to be 2 weeks, it turned into 4 weeks, and it turned into 7 weeks, and by the time I go back to work, I will have missed 8 weeks of work in all. It was never planned to go on this long, but the first couple of procedures I had just had so many complications that it just didn't work. In fact, it made it worse. So finally, my last procedure I had done seems to be a success. I'm still in my walking shoe. But this week I'm definitely on the mend, and fingers are crossed that Monday I will actually go back to work. Everything is looking really good. But because I suddenly had 8 weeks off of work and my children were in school all day and my husband was at work all day, I had a lot of time to kill, and I wasn't able to do a lot of walking around. In fact, my walking was very, very limited. One of the reasons I haven't shot a video in my studio downstairs is because for months now I've been banned from doing stairs and stuff. So things are getting back to normal, but I had a lot of time to read, and read I did. I read a lot of novels and things like that, but the last few weeks I read this book called Lessons from Madan Sheik, 20 Stylish Secrets I Learned While Living in Paris. And I do hope this is focusing in. And this is a book written by Jennifer L. Scott. And Jennifer L. Scott actually has her own YouTube channel called The Daily Connoisseur. And I can honestly say in these last few weeks, I have watched pretty much every video she has posted to YouTube. I love her philosophy. It is one that I hold to myself. And the philosophy behind Madan Sheik goes really hand in hand with my last video I did, 11 Steps to Finding Your Happy in Your 30s and 40s. And basically she talks about always presenting yourself well. Always dress your best and wear your best. Don't save these beautiful, beautiful clothes for that Christmas Eve party. Wear it now. Use it now. Go to the store. You don't have to go to the store in a pair of 4-inch stilettos, but if you're going to go to the store, have on a presentable outfit. And look your best always. Put on your makeup. And makeup doesn't have to be a full 20-minute production. Makeup can be, the 5-minute makeup routine. A little foundation, some lipstick, eyeliner, mascara, you're good to go. And I have held to that philosophy pretty much since I was 13 years old. And reading her books, though, really inspired me even more. It really did, because there's one thing I have a real big problem with in America. It's what I call the slobification of America. Somewhere in the last 10 years, standards for how a person looks in public have just plummeted. And we're talking about the woman who goes to the store in her bathing suit in summertime. Is it hot outside? Sure, it's hot outside. But still, you're in a store in your bathing suit, or you're in a store with pajamas and your slippers. And you guys know, I love pajamas. I love my slippers. One of the things I truly look forward to in the evening when it gets to be about 6:30 is taking off my clothes for the day and putting on my nice soft jammies and my pretty robe and my slippers and just relaxing with a good book or a magazine. I am pro pajamas, but I'm also pro pajamas in your house. I really am. I understand I'm in my 40s, and so there's going to be a lot of 20-somethings right now who will watch this video and will have very negative comments to say, oh, what's wrong? As long as you're not naked, it's all fine. We should all be comfortable. And, I am not a size 2. I am a real woman. I have curves, and I've had babies, and, I have a little extra on my body. I understand wholeheartedly the desire to be comfortable. but you can be very comfortable in beautiful clothes. It's just a matter of finding the right fit and finding the right materials to wear. There really is a wide range of comfortable clothes besides Lululemon and your pajamas. There really is. Same goes for shoes. I have some of the worst feet on earth. You know, Frankenfoot. It's very, very hard to find comfortable shoes that fit that foot. But I have. You know, I go out there and I go to DSW and I try on 40, 50 pairs of shoes, and then I buy the 1 or 2 pairs that do fit, don't pinch, don't push on anything, and are comfortable. So this way I can go out and look presentable. So that was one of the lessons that is taught in Madan Sheik. Another lesson that she presents in this book is to get rid of your clutter, which again is right along the theme of my last video. And I always thought I had a pretty decluttered house. I really did, because I'm forever getting rid of things. And I've even read the Marie Kondo books, both of them. And I made some purges after reading those books. But after reading this one, I was really inspired to go through all of my beauty products, all of my hair care products, all of my skincare products. And I easily threw away, probably 60% of it. Because it's amazing how many bottles of something you keep because there's this much left inside, or you buy a big bottle of something that maybe you paid $15 for it and you use it a couple of times and you realize, I don't like this product, it's not working for me so well. But then because you paid $15 for it, you hold on to it, you keep it. And so suddenly, you go to open your kitchen or your bathroom cabinets and cupboards, and you open the door and 5 things are falling out because you're keeping all of these things that are not useful. So again, her book talks a great deal about getting rid of those kinds of things. Another thing that she talks about in her lessons from Madan Sheik and her travels, is she spent 6 months in Paris, is to always use your best. Use your best dishes right now. Don't save them for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Have a cup of tea in a pretty china teacup. Use your best dishes for today's dinner. So what if it's a Tuesday? Who cares? Put it out there and use them. What's the worst that could happen? Something gets a chip on it. Well, you know what? A chip simply means that something was loved and used, not neglected and hidden away in a closet. Same thing for your house. If you've got, my mother's was a classic for this. She had beautiful furniture, and then my mother would put towels over all her furniture so that nothing would get worn out. All the kitchen table chairs had towels draped over the furniture. The living room sofa, the corner seat where my father sat, had a towel draped over the corner. And I can honestly tell you that eventually those kitchen chairs broke down, and the legs were wobbly, and the arms were wobbly, and they were done for. But the chair fabric itself was still brand new. So they threw away chairs with broken arms, broken legs, but beautiful fabric. So for the 15 years they owned that table set, they never got to see the beautiful fabric. And when you think about something like that now in hindsight, how silly. You own this beautiful set of chairs, but you have every single chair covered with a towel to protect it, so you never actually really get to enjoy it. So when you really start to think about how life is precious, our time here is precious, we don't know how long we're going to live on this earth. Why hide something under a towel? Take that towel off and enjoy it. And this was something that I've said in my last video, and again was repeated in the Madan Sheik series. So I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I took almost every word she had to say to heart. And then she has also written another book. She wrote, let me find it here. Okay, where's my books? Oh, this Kindle is pretty new, and it's shocking to me how I'm still struggling to find everything on here. Okay, the next book she wrote was cover At Home with Madan Sheik. And this book was one I really enjoyed, and this one, there was information in here that was kind of new to me because I am a person who gets stressed. I really do. You guys know I have anxiety, and I tend to get a little worked up. And sometimes I have so many negative thoughts going through my head that I'm not living my best life. I'm living a life of survival, but I'm not necessarily enjoying the moment, enjoying the day. Because let's be honest, we have jobs, we have kids, we have a house that needs cleaning, dinner that needs cooking, laundry that has to be washed, folded, and put away. So sometimes we are so in that, gotta do this, now I gotta do this, that we forget to live our best life. We forget to carve out that time for ourselves. Or we've got so much stuff going on in the course of a day, we don't even know how to carve out time for ourselves. You know, we have this mindset that to have time for ourselves means having, 2 hours to sit down with a magazine and polish our nails. Well, that is a good way to spend time on yourself, but sometimes spending time on yourself might be something as simple as sitting down with your lunch on a proper plate, with a proper placemat and a cloth napkin in your lap and your water in a pretty goblet, and just taking 5 minutes to just enjoy your lunch. Don't worry about the dishes in the sink. Don't worry about the wet clothes in the washing machine. Don't worry about anything for those 5 minutes. For that 5 minutes, enjoy your lunch in its pretty presentation and just focus on eating your food. Or other ideas in this book are just focusing on your family time. One thing she talked about in here that I am really guilty of is my phone. I'm on my phone a lot, and I'm actually quite guilty of the whole family sits down to watch a movie on like a Friday night, and I'm watching the movie, but I'm doing one of these things. Phone, movie. Phone, movie. Phone, movie. And she talks about focusing on one thing. If you're with your family, just be with your family. Don't just put the phone down. Put the phone away. Put it in another room and shut the door. And then be with your family. That is actually something I will be working on a lot, because I am very, very guilty of multitasking to the point where I'm not really wholly there doing any one particular thing. I really am that computer with 15 tabs open and spending 5 seconds on each tab. So I'm going to make a greater effort to just be doing one thing, to just be with my children, to just be with my husband, as opposed to being on the phone or the iPad and doing multiple things at once. All right. And then she also has advice in here for ways to, have your house set up and how to keep the clutter away, how to get the kids involved. So this really was a good book, At Home with Madan Sheik. Probably my favorite book in the series is book number 3. Polish Your Poise at Home, or Polish Your Poise with Madan Sheik. This is the one that really spoke to me, because on my videos, I never swear. I would never do that because I'm a teacher, and I'm very conscious of the fact that my students, some of them, watch my videos. So I would never use a potty mouth on YouTube. But in my everyday life, I curse. I do. There, I confess. I do have a potty mouth sometimes. And I am actually very proud to say that I have not used curse words now for like 4 weeks. And for some of my girlfriends, that's going to blow their minds. It really is. I have worked really, really hard to stop cursing. And really, I don't even know why I started cursing, other than the fact that really curse words are everywhere now. You know, on TV, any word is fair game on television anymore, except for the big one, you know, that F-bomb. You watch YouTube videos, and you know, a lot of the ones that my family watches, the epic fails, there's curse words through and through it. My morning show that I love, Dave and Chuck the Freak, there's a lot of cursing in Dave and Chuck the Freak. So I am in an atmosphere where I'm surrounded by curse words. And as anybody, your natural speaking, you pick up these words and they become part of your vernacular as well. Well, I have made a conscious effort to remove some of that programming from my environment. I have made a conscious effort to not use the curse words myself. Every time my teenager lets one slip out of his mouth, I've been, you know, nailing him for it, and his vocabulary is actually improving. So that was one of the things in Polish Your Poise. Another thing this book does is present you with scenarios, okay? This is what happens. Are you going to become angry? Are you going to become enraged? Are you going to let it fly? Or are you simply going to take a breath, bite your tongue, and maintain your poise? And if you don't know what poise means grace and elegance. When I think of poise, I think of Audrey Hepburn. I think of Katharine Hepburn. I think of Taylor Swift. To me, Taylor Swift is someone who has great poise. Jennifer Lawrence has great poise. You never see these two girls acting out, being aggressive, being rude or obnoxious. So poise is a real thing. It's something that's dying in our current culture, and I would love to see a return of it, and hopefully we will get more role models like Taylor Swift and Jennifer Lawrence who go out there and present themselves graciously and politely with excellent manners. So these three books just were an eye-opener for me, and like I said, a lot of this stuff I did already, but then there were so many parts of these books that I felt, wow, I need to make these changes. I need to incorporate these things into my life immediately, and to just make my day-to-day living better, and to give me a little bit more grace and a little bit more elegance. And so with that, I'm going to wrap up right there. I do hope you will check out these three books by Jennifer L. Scott, and be sure to check out her YouTube channel called The Daily Connoisseur. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you think about dressing properly for all occasions and maybe polishing up some of your poise if you think that's something you might want to do. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will